today I'm going to be walking you through a YT idea generator, and it's also a scraper for information, for outreach, for outbound. This is something I've been working on for a long time, and it's something I built out for myself specifically, so I'm going to show you what I did. But this can be mapped across pretty much any industry you want, and you basically scrape lots and lots of YouTube channels and enrich all the damn information you can get. So this took me honestly a lot of hours. I'm going to be completely honest, it took a lot of hours. I went through every single possible process on how you could build this out with the cheapest methods possible because you're doing this at scale. And the entire output is first, like, you have a YouTube channel, you get the people behind the YouTube channel, you get their contact information, and then you also get their top performing videos for shorts, for X, for also general YouTube. You get the transcript and you can put it into AI. Again, this was a long enough intro. This is going to be a longer video, so I would strap in, buckle in, get ready, and yeah, let's get right into it. So I have the table out in front of me. I'm gonna move my head over, and you're probably looking at this like, what is going on? And I'm probably gonna pause this here and there throughout the video, but pretty much, we had to begin this off by scraping YouTube channels, right? We had to get all the YouTube channels, and this is another table that I've been working on. And there might be a video about this, maybe not, but I will be using both in tandem just because it's useful. And inside Clay, there is an option of importing a list of YouTube channels. And this is incredibly useful, and it's also not loading now, which is wonderful. So pretty much if we come down here, and there is a search for YouTube videos or creators, which is great. And you have a search type, and you can basically set this up. So videos or channels. You can also set up basically a search topic, which is also really good. This seems to have a scheduling function, which is awesome, which is really, really awesome. Because that means you can constantly keep updating for certain search terms, which I might build out too. You have a search topic. So for me, this was basically what it looked like. I wanted to scrape the 470 people here of the top performing people inside my niche and get their top performing videos. If I go channels. And then this is limited to 300 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And the country of search, I did United States, and then the language of search will be English, like this. And when you run this search term, man, it will basically bring back all of the YT results that you're kind of looking for. And if I come back here, this is the output you get. You pretty much get the handle, the link to their YouTube channel, their title, their thumbnail, their description, their subs, and position on page. Realistically, we only need the link. That's about it, and maybe the title as well. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like, I did this whole table, so I'm gonna be like bouncing around the place, but I'll try to keep like a streamline of consciousness to try and keep it coherent, because I'm gonna be honest, again, this is pretty chunky. So we have this initial like YT link scrape, right? We have the YouTube channel. We have to get every single bit of our information from this initial link. So I'm gonna just move on here and just leave this for a second, because again, it can get slightly confusing. We basically had we had the description and the title from the search, and if you guys know this, like instantly Christian Placencia, I don't know how to say his name. There's Email Chaser, there's Lemlist, there's Maildozo, there's ListKit. Like, there's a few of these absolute gems, Mitchell Keller, Oscar Moen. So like, these are people like that you kind of know, right? Inside the email space. So I wanted their top performing videos. So what I basically did was, the first thing I did was I basically extracted their description. So inside Clay, you have an extract URLs and emails permutator. And this will basically go in and pull any domains or URLs or emails from a certain search term. And for some reason, stuff is not loading, which is bloody wonderful. So hopefully this loads in. And it's very simple. It's also free, so no complaints. And as you can see, it will basically come through and it will go like this. And this is Rev Growth AI, which is Christian's business. And this is great because I just need to figure out like particular details on this. And then what I needed to do after this was identify if it was a personal branded website or a company website. I also think if I zoom in, this might be easier to see. Yeah, it's probably way easier to see. There we go. It's a bit big for me, but whatever. Basically we had to figure it out. So if we go to the left, like Christian's channel is a personal branded channel. And I'll be honest, this took a lot of prompting, so I'll show you the prompt. But then there was the company one, which is email chaser, and there's lemnist and all this stuff, right? And if we come over here, open this up, this is the prompt I was using. So I'm going to provide you with so we were using GPT-4o Mini. I'm going to provide you with a YouTube channel link, and what I want you to do is find out two things for me. One of them is if the channel is a company YouTube or if the channel is a personal YouTube. This can be easily discerned by the name of the channel and also the description, personal, and also the description. There should be a comma here. Personal channels usually have a person's name in it. Company channels have a company name in it. If you find out it's a company channel, output company, and if you find out it's a personal channel, output personal. So we did that whole entire business, and we now have a pretty, I should have saved, whatever. We now have a pretty nice prompt, basically discerning if they are personal or not. If I just drag this over here, you'll see your personal workforce, company, male dozo is definitely a company. Company, personal, personal, personal. Company. Simon Reisman, maybe that should have been a personal. Cold email mastery, they flagged that as personal. So it's not 100% right, but we're getting a pretty okay amount right. Youssef Mohsen, personal. Mitchell Keller, personal. Emails that just didn't have enough information. Let's say personal. Cold email, the cold email. Who's labeling that the cold email? Personal. Company, personal. So we were doing this, right? Or well, I was doing this, and I was like, we have to kind of identify this. And of course, I'm looking at it now, right? It's not perfect, but we were doing this for 470 channels, and we were trying our best to discern everything. So this is the initial setup for everything. And then going from here, right? We then have a looking for social media links. So this, if I was to go back and do this differently, I would use Gemini to help me out with this. And I would also split it up between like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and like have it separately kind of fish about for all the information. And so this is basically, right, I'm going to provide you with somebody's YouTube channel and description. I want you to go out and find all of their social medias from Twitter, Instagram, to LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, everything you can find that's related to them. I would like every single social media that they're on and just output the link. If you cannot find the output NA. This is good because you can basically set the fields inside ChatGPT to only output a particular kind of setup. So we only outputted the Instagram, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. And of course, if you want other things, you can go look for that too. And as you can see, we basically went through and they started searching up the particular information of each individual. And yeah, and then after that, we then asked for the company website, which looking back, I probably should have done this first and then done that after, but whatever. Tomato, like, you know what I mean? And this is basically just going through. I'm going to provide you with this information. Please look for their website. And this had like 100% hit rate because like there's so much information already. But I should have reversed it because it's pretty easy to get the Clagent, the website. Right. And this is great and all. And we now have all of this very, very awesome information. The question is, how do we begin scraping their channel, their shorts, their transcripts, etc.? So basically what we're doing is, if we go into Amplify, and this is where everything kind of like came to be. And as you can see, we scraped a lot of YouTube comments. This Twitter scraper did not run as much as I thought it would. YouTube comment scraper. So this one was cheaper. YouTube transcripts, YouTube videos, scraper by hashtag. Right. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So this is transcripts and this is comments. We don't use these yet. I use this one because it was the cheapest. It was $1 for 1,000 videos. Go make an account Amplify. You can figure it out. Use the JSON transcript, and I'll show you how I basically input it now. So I wanted to initially scrape the big YouTube videos from the channel, and I wanted the top YouTube videos from the channel, and this is what this scraper does. And again, I've done all of the research. I literally looked through every single like scraper. I went to the darkest corners of the internet. I used Grok. I did everything. This is the best one, right? Just use this. And this is basically the JSON stream, as you can see, and you want to set it to popular and scrape the most popular ones. If you want to keep going down the rabbit hole, sure you can. Like, there's no reason not to. And pretty much this is kind of what it looks like. You have the link, you have the method, which is a get method, and then what this gives you as an output is beautiful. Like, this is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Guys, watch. So if I come over here, you then get a scrape. And this is 2 years ago. It's done quite well. Free email scraper 2023, how to harvest emails from websites. Now that is a good idea. If I literally take that and put 2025 on, I'm just saying, I would say people would absolutely balk at that and just keep watching it. That's how long the video was, the order, how old, the view count, let me see, personal workforce, etc., channel videos. You have all this, like, look at this. Total channel views, channel description, um, number of subs, channel link descriptions. Oh shoot. And this is the channel description links. So again, there's a lot of stuff you can do here with this information. So from here, you basically map this over to a different table. And again, I'm going to roll this back because there's like a bunch of other stuff that I could go through as well. But if we look at it here, right, I basically map this over to, this is a YT, this is the generator, right? And ignore all of this bullshit, right? Oh God, I'm going to zoom out slightly. Hopefully my head was not blocking that, whatever, right? I'm going to move this back over to like this corner. Sit nice and snug. Actually, a little bit. Don't do that. There we go. A little bit out. Right. Just looking at it here, right? So now we have the channel name, we have the number of subs, the title, the view count, channel description, the thumbnail URL. And this looks great and all. And we do this for every single video. That is why there is nearly 3,000, like this is 3,000 individual videos. It's like, how do I do math? I think I can bring up a calculator with this. I have a keyboard that looks like super fancy. So let's bring up the math. So it's around 20 by 479. Boom. So it's about 10K, but obviously some channels didn't have YouTube videos. They had one or two. Some of them didn't even have 20 uploads. So obviously this gets cut down, but it's nearly 3,000 videos, which is really, really good. And then from here, you basically take this video URL, because now you have the video URL, and you have this incredible information. So the first thing you can do is scrape YouTube comments. So if I just come back here, by the way, this is used to scrape both, where is it? This is used to scrape both shorts and long form. Right, so if we come over here, this is the YouTube comment scraper. This is easily the cheapest one I could find. Again, I went to the deepest, darkest depths of the internet and we found this. This one's the best one. And it's also on a performance thing, so you don't have to pay like an upfront thing. And this is great because you get this comments from the video and you get what people are asking. I love how Alex gave them kudos at the end. I love what people you guys represent, etc., etc. That's why they're so down to earth. Right, that's fine. I don't really care about that. Increasing the show up rates, availability, 15-minute increment time slots. Again, I don't even know what this is, but these are comments, right? This guy is amazing. I don't even know. I think this is an instantly video, and that's why they're mentioning Hormozy. Oh yeah, this is Alex Hormozy coming on. But the idea is, right, you want to scrape for questions people are asking for. So I basically identify that later on in the video as well. And like there's so much to this table. So you basically scrape this for all 3,000 videos, and of course some of 1, some of 2, some of 30, and you scrape them and you can map them over to a YT comments video or a YT comments table. And I'm just gonna follow this thread of thought because if I go back, it won't really match up and it won't like make sense coherently in terms of this. And I hope this loads in time because there's 15,000 comments that I scraped, and then I used AI to basically identify and cut down the relevant ones that I should and shouldn't be using. So this is the idea of the video. This is the title of the video, comments, and this is the vote count. So I know what is like most voted, and this is the word count. And then basically we ran a comment segmentation. So I basically mapped it into a question, a statement, and a compliment. And if it was a question, then it was like happy days, and it was like we want this. If it's a compliment, I don't really care, and if it's a statement, then I think I mapped it. I didn't map it over either. This clarity for not only cold emails but overall marketing your services. Realized it was an ad, got a little nervous. Wait, let me see. There's a few other ones. I can show you later. But basically, um, I did two things. I've also got the count of the amount of words inside of a comment. The reason I did this is because the really short comments were usually shit, and I didn't really want them because I wanted some like meat to the bone if they were going to ask particular questions. And basically, I mapped all the questions to a Google sheet. So this has been sitting here for a while, and it might take a while to load. But this is basically all of the information. So it's just good to store this. So YouTube comments. And this is basically where I store all of this. So if I ever need like some ideas, if I need to generate anything at all, it's all here. So this has been the most informative video I've watched recently. I mean, this is actual value. Imagine not even spending 1K for the warm-up emails and everything else, and you're able to land 1 or 2 clients for those 38 appointments, which is very average, blah, 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 blah. One question after I add my email, do I need to send emails after, or is it totally warmed up? Or can I just send emails that won't fall into spam immediately when I finish all the settings or during warm up? Like, that's a good X post right there, or a LinkedIn post. Does this make two-step verification and app password irrelevant? Hello. Could you explain why it's better to use G Suite and Gmail addresses? This would mean paying $8 a month for G Suite and $6 per email address. So for example, I send 150 emails per day equals $8 G Suite. By he's doing some good maths, but like this is also another good post, right? You can just go through this and you have all these goddamn questions that you will literally never run out of stuff. Like it's 15,000 comments. Like put this into an AI, which I was going to go into after, but I will keep following this train of thought. So from here, I basically put all of this into a TXT file, and I use Merlin, but you can use Claude, you can use Gemini, you can use Grok, and I literally just map everything into this AI, every single question. So if I need questions, I have questions, and this just works. And then basically I have like a project set up, and I can do this. So I do this for, if I go into projects, and then I go into idea generation. And I have the other bots because this literally keeps going. But if I click here, like this is all in here. So this robot is trained on all of this knowledge and this information, and I can literally whip out. God, what do we have here? I can whip out O3 Mini. I can whip out DeepSeek. Like it doesn't really matter. I can whip out Claude. Like there's all this stuff. So we're gonna keep moving on because again this is a very long video, and we're gonna keep this chugging along. Next on the chopping block, and hopefully this loads, is going through scraping the transcripts for the videos. And as you might have noticed that I had write 2 comments and then scrape transcripts 1, 2, and 3. So the way this has basically operated is I wanted to scrape the transcript for the video, and this is brilliant. It's great. Like this works, and I use this one here. It's not this one. It's actors, and then Jesus. Okay, so this ran what, like I don't know, 7,500, 5,000 times, something like that. I ran this a lot, but pretty much all you do is you just run this. You insert the JSON. It looks kind of complicated. It's not that complicated. Just follow the general steps, and if you look over here, you basically insert everything, select the YouTube transcript scraper, and yeah. And the reason there is multiple transcript columns is because sometimes the first one would be errored because I ran like 3,000 at once, and the Apify servers just were like stop. So I had to like stagger them and then run them into a merge column, so all of them were like at the same time. Oh, sorry, I didn't run them into a merge column, and the reason I didn't do that is because, which looking back, I should not have done that. That's kind of silly. Jeez, okay. But pretty much, um, This was too big. This was too much information because a limit on a cell inside Clay is 8 KB, which is gigabytes. And it says it here. Yeah, cell size data exceeds limits. So this is getting the entire transcript for the entire goddamn video. Look, it's literally the whole video. And it's like, this is great because now I know what people are saying in their videos. And then you just keep going, and this one's a bit longer, and I'm surprised this didn't break. But pretty much from here, you then map it into a GBT. Get rid of this. So you map it into a GBT response, and you run for O again, and you split it into three different segments. So this is the prompt. I'm to provide you with a YouTube transcript. Your goal is to split this into three different parts: intro, summary, or middle outro. You're to output the intro exactly as it is transcribed in the video. You are to only output the intro and nothing else inside the provided section. Now, when it comes to the outro, I want you to go through all of the data, summarize the key points made throughout the video, and important details at any minute. Details that could be breached over there that could be used for future use. The idea behind this is to find information inside the video that I can use in future for future videos. I was using this with I was speaking to the AI to get this prompt, so it doesn't pick up all of my words. So it sounds like I can't speak English, and maybe I can't speak English, but who knows? And then this should say, when it comes to the body, that shouldn't say outro, it should say body. Lastly, when it comes to the outro, I want you to give it to me as it is exactly transcribed inside of the video, right? And what's nice is that when you basically set the intro, the middle, and the summary middle, and the outro for the output, this is what it looks like. So it basically chops it down to size. And this is the intro. Okay, in this video, I'll be covering how you can scale your B2B business without outbound going into 25, or if you're already in 25. So I'm going to be going over only relevant strategies and stuff that really matters, like finding segments within your market, and then also finding message market fit, which a lot of people don't talk about, by basically covering how we are able to walk through this process and then cover all of this and build an outbound strategy to go to market strategies that blah, 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 blah. This is a pretty long goddamn intro. Jesus Christ. Jesus, like how is someone sitting through this? Sorry, guys. Um, but then this is the outro as well. Let me see. Tokens used, but yeah, we found this useful. Let me see. Going through this, I think it only gave 2 in the video. Wait, let's see load. Oh yeah, here we go. This is summary middle. Some of them were sitting, right? Um, so the discussion hinges on the effectiveness and safety of email warm strategies, particularly in the realm of cold emailing. Tim Starr, a seasoned expert in delivery since 2003, expresses skepticism about common warm-up methods. So now you have the summary of the video that you were recording. And looking back, I should have gotten the exact transcript as well, but whatever. And then we basically run an intro. So this is basically a merge column to merge everything into one. And then I replace anything that is supposed to be an apostrophe and looks kind of stupid into an actual, like, I remove it basically. And then finally, in the final aspect of this YouTube video section, but there is the short section, there's the tweet section as well, and also getting the information. So this is probably going to match up to a long one, but let's keep going. So basically, I then map it over to Google Sheets, and then you basically have the title, you have the intro, you have the middle slash summary, and you have the outro for 3,000 videos. So basically, you have an absolute information gold mine. That's what this is. This is literally like a gold mine for information. And if you have YouTube videos, which like I do, and this robot is great because I speak to this, and this will start giving me ideas on things I can kind of push out there. If I want to write some things, if I have some ideas, I can bounce back ideas because it has access to all of this such relevant information. And then you can also make a title bot as well. So these are the top 20 performing titles. So if you make a specific bot with these titles, you can input it and be like, look, these titles work. I'm going to provide you with a video idea or a title. Please polish this up to make it more like clickbait, as terrible as that sounds. Right? And then there's that. Wait, give me just 2 seconds. Awesome. Okay, continuing on. We are now, so we've done the video end of things. we're now going on to shorts. So what's nice is about the short setup that it is the same thing in terms of scraping the video. So the video is scraped with the same scraper, has the same setup, and my back is currently itchy, so I'm going to scratch my back. And pretty much we basically run the same mapping function over to the shorts table. This is not loading for me, which is, it's just because there's so much information and it's just not working. But pretty much this runs the same function, pulls the same information. If I just click this, let's open this up, please, good sir. I think Clay is having a hard time right now. I'm going to wait till this opens and I'll unpause. Okay, and basically we have the results section, right? And if you look at it here, it's the same setup. You have the title, you have the ID, the view count, the channel name, you have the channel description, all this stuff. And you basically take this and you write it over to a shorts table, right? And we are on the shorts table here. Again, I think this mapped out more than the YouTube videos. Actually, I think it might have mapped out less. It's been a while because I ran this a little bit ago. And I'm curious if this is going to load in time. Right, so basically on this page, you have the short URL, the channel URL, and all of the relevant information. And I basically added a little bit extra to this one, which is basically, I didn't scrape comments because, like, who cares, I guess? Like, you can add it in if you want. But you basically have some short scraping. And this will scrape the shorts for you here, scrape the shorts, scrape the shorts. And this one actually had to be staggered because it's just because of the way it's structured. This literally has to be staggered. As you can see, a lot of them have 0, which is a massive shame, but this is the best you're able to do. And with this, you basically get the word count of, like, I guess whichever one you want. And I basically segmented down to a particular word count. So 1, 2, was it this one? Oh shoot, that might have been another one. Oh no, I just mapped it all over. Oh, I love when I just forget stuff. Oh no, it's not. Okay, so look, we had a word count of 30 here. And this is the most, like, it just looks so irrelevant. Like, I'm sorry, but if you have a 30-second short, like, I don't think you're covering anything of value. So if it's over 40, then sure, we run it. And we map it over to the idea generation sheet. And if I come into here, YouTube Shorts, we then have all the information. So the content transcription, the shorts URL, the title, the channel name, all this, again, it's the same information. And you put this into an AI and you can basically train it on transcriptions you want. You can train it on titles you want. Super useful, super useful. And then from here, I'm going to go back to the YT idea generator because we have one more thing for tweets, and then we have to go and find the more relevant information for each particular person. And we'll figure that out, and I'll walk through that as well. So where are we? Yes, so we then have the Twitter, right? And I wanted to only scrape the tweets of relevant personal Twitters. So what I basically did was, with getting this information, we ran an Amplify actor, which we seem to be doing a lot of lately. And maybe I build out one myself, who knows, use some cursor backend and start whipping up IPs. But basically, I ran this Twitter scraper because it was by far the cheapest one by like a country mile. I was looking at the other ones and I was getting absolutely ripped to shreds. Like, it was insane how much I was getting like spliffed. So 40 cents for 1,000 tweets is absolutely fine. And you do the same setup where this is the start URL, you just map it to a JSON, you set the max amount of items and whatever you kind of want to set. And with this, you basically run, and I only ran this for personal Twitters because the other Twitters don't, I guess they don't really catch my attention, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't, that sounds kind of weird to say, but pretty much we only ran this for personal Twitters because the company Twitter is more of like a promo thing and it's not relevant, but the personal ones is where the sauce happens. And you just map in this entire URL, put in the Twitter, and then you only run if the Twitter isn't equal to NA. If Twitter exists and the company, it's not equal to company or it's equal to personal, and you run this. And with this, you then get the tweets. This is super awesome because then you can map this over again to another setup, right? So if we go through this, we have the text, which is, hey, abroad, I was reviewing your products on your website, and then on Amazon, found a major effect on who's ready to buy, attaching the picture. This is a tweet. Wait, let me see. This is a tweet. Another tweet. While there is life, while there is life, there is hope. So you know what I mean? It's just tweets like this. Harsh reality is always better than false hope. Who knows? Who knows? I love this stuff. This is so funny. But pretty much going through here, we then map it over to a tweet simulator. Simulator, as in finding information on them. And we map it over. I basically check if it's a retweet or not because I don't want to deal with retweets. So I just do a Twitter retweet check. And if it contains an RT, a capital RT and an at, then we skip it. Oh yeah, so this is all free, which is why I didn't run it. But basically, we skip it, and then I ran find the keywords check. Why did I run it? Oh yes, if it was a giveaway, a comment, a retweet, or a DM, if I had any of these, I just completely disregarded it because, like, I'm not scraping giveaways. There's a text length as well, so I basically ran a pretty solid filtering process to only have this run for specific things. If this was me, again, like redoing this, which I probably will actually, I would set this to run on a schedule and run maybe once every like week and scrape the most recent things and then map it all over and just keep a continuous cycle going of ideas. And then we mapped over a bunch of information. And as you can see, so I just set a filter to add to Google Sheets. And it was basically if the retweet check is equal to no and the text length is greater than 45. And I should have also added if the keyword total count doesn't exist or isn't equal or isn't greater than one. That's something I should have done, but whatever, right? And from there, this is then mapped over to the Google Sheets doc. And if I come over here, we come over here, and this is what it kind of looks like. And we have all of this information, some tweets to kind of to base off in terms of like what you kind of want. So this is good. Express a clear benefit or promise. Quite often, people will scan the text before delving into the meat of your copy, I guess. And then one of the things I'd recommend is you actually cannot paste this into a Google Doc. I tried it; it breaks the doc because there's too much information. Like it was like 9-10 million characters or something. Like it was a lot of stuff. So I broke Google Docs, which is nice. It was 300 pages of just straight text. I was like, damn, that is impressive. So what you want to do is, I'm not going to open it here, but basically because I have like stuff inside. But basically, I have a Notepad app, and you just find a Notepad app, copy and paste it into the Notepad app, and then download it as a TXT file. And this is like perfect because this TXT file doesn't break, and you can just input it like this, and you can structure it more properly. You can do whatever you want with it. That's not my issue. You do whatever you want, and then whew, okay, so we got through the YT idea generator section, and then I might have I might have already gone through this in a different video, but I'm gonna go through this again because this is relevant to what we're discussing. Pretty much, this is a table I've built out that is able to get all of their information, the person that is in charge of the channel, and also the email of the person that is in charge of the channel. So I'm gonna go through this really quickly again. Pretty much, we have a similar process of channel URL, channel name, and then we just scrape some. This is an Amplify actor that gives you some information on like this channel as a whole, right? And the main thing you're looking for is the description because sometimes people have the emails or their websites in the description. And I'm just gonna breeze this. If you want a full in-depth tutorial, there should be like another video on my channel somewhere if you want to also go have a look at that. But I would finish this as well. But pretty much you extract URLs and emails from this, and then you run an email extraction. So this is a formula basically saying if it has an email linked to it, then you can output that. And as you can see, we got some Gmails here. And then we then run a custom waterfall. So this is just finding emails. So we have the person that runs the channel, and we find that using ClayJIT. And this is going to get really convoluted and buddy buddy because it's one of those things. So pretty much we ran a subscriber count check. So if the subscriber count was greater or less than certain numbers, then we would or wouldn't search. So like I didn't bother with ones that are like 7 or 0. We ran a channel classification to figure out if it's a personal or company. This one was way more accurate, by the way. So I would recommend using this. And then we ran a link classification. So this basically means uh, we went through and we formatted the URL, I think. Let's see, let it load. Oh yeah, so I gave it a set of URLs and I wanted it to output it in this exact formatting. I gave it like a ton of URLs. And then we basically had a second link classification where this would go search the web and fill in any of the missing gaps. So you can have a look at this here. And then basically this just gave out like the same output, but formatted. And then we had a check for the company CEO or the person that is running the channel. This basically goes through and it will run the prompt and it'll scrape. And as you can see, we have Jeremy Dixon, or I can't say that name, or Nick, I can't say that name, or this and I Patel, and I can't say that name. So that's that setup. And then there's the CEO online presence. And we basically look for more information about these guys online. So if I just go into here, you are tasked with identifying and categorizing links with this, and this is only looking for their LinkedIn and their Twitter. So for this one, I actually split it up between LinkedIn and Twitter because that was actually more important, and everything else. So you then end up with this. This looks kind of funky, but pretty much this is all the relevant information for each prospect when it comes to their social medias, and this is like really accurate. And then you were then wondering like how we got the email. So we ran a waterfall with the name of the person. So Jeremy, let's say use Nick Abraham, right? We basically come over here and we run a custom waterfall to validate this concept, and we'll use their domain and their first and last name, right? Put it through the entire process, and then at the end we'll get an output, and then we'll validate the email. So as you can see, some of them are like not, they're just not set up or whatever. So, and if we come over here, we then have Leadbird at Nick, and then we map this over to this email section here. And as you can see, we then have an actual proper output on how this entire kind of process looks. So there's that. And then additionally, I think in this other video that if you want to go watch it, I go like way more in depth, right? And I don't know if it's up. It might be, it might not be. Who knows? Pretty much you can scrape videos by keywords as well, and it runs the same process into this kind of entire table. So there's that as well. So yeah, that is, I hope you enjoyed that. Just on this, I do have a lead generation agency. A lot of GTM strategies. I work a lot with clients. There's a link in the description. It brings you to my landing page. If you want to have a look at it, you can have a look at it. If you think I could help you, I think I can help you. But if you think I can, book a call. We can have a chat. It's no pressure, anyways. But otherwise, if you enjoyed that, drop a sub, drop a like, thumbs up, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm extremely busy, but I will do my best. And otherwise, have a great day, and I will see you.